know it's been a minute. A lot of things have been going on in my life, and I wish everything was, so peachy clean as, saying you can do this every day and have fun. But in a good note, there are a lot of great things going on, and I haven't been posting anything because you should always think about what you wish for. And I did some videos where I'm like, hey man, send me your microphones, and a lot of microphones came in. I actually completely ran out of foil. I had to wait for that shipment to come in, and it's been a little bit difficult. I finally got the sheets, and I've cut. That's over here. I've cut about maybe 8, 9 sheets of those out of big. It takes about 4 to maybe 6 hours for me to go through those and cut them down because it's really painstaking that I don't damage the ribbons as I'm working on them, and also I can't have the larger sheets just hanging out because if one falls, they'll definitely rip. So today, this is a mic I haven't done. I thought this was another one I've done before. It was an older one than this one. So I did undo the screws, but I'm gonna go through this mic and go through this at the time. Let's see, it's an EHR1 microphone, and hey, I know we got a good one here. So yeah, so a lot of things have been going on in my life. Obviously, in the middle of all this was not only trying to finish up most of the orders that have come in. I got one order I got to ship to Europe, and I was just double checking the mics on that before I sent them out. And then I have one going back to the DC area, and then tomorrow I've got some mics going to Texas. And I'm getting close to, I've got some other really cool ones coming in that I'll do some videos for. But I should be close to getting up to par. I've also been working on my own ribbon mic. I've come under fire of my own guys at my company saying, hey, this is great. I'm glad you're doing all these ribbons. You have to finalize your own ribbon mic so it can go into production. So I have a prototype right now that I'm wiring up and getting it done. It takes up a lot of time because I'm actually don't want to build it twice. So I'm looking to build it once. And my ribbon mic will not be something like this, or you see me doing a lot of the MXLs. The ribbon mic I'm making is more like a BK5. Speaking of Russian, a Russian 19 super cardioid. So let's get into this. My band actually hadn't played in 2.5 years, and my band opened up for a wicked band from Kansas City called Shiner. So we played 2 local shows in LA, and yeah, just completely overwhelmed with trying to get these done, trying to do a good job. And so yeah, we're gonna at the hand today is a Russian Octava. Now once again, Russian Octavas are my favorite ribbon mics. The 19. There's another one that I've done. It looks almost identical to this, but it's the vintage one. I forget the model number. Yo, what's up, Velocity Recording? I know it's been a minute. I was just sharing that when I do these videos, sometimes it's a landslide of people that have microphones that come in. Um, this is a ribbon mic. Someone just asked. So it's a Russian ribbon mic from Russia. Um, yeah, says it right there on the box. Made in Russia. So Russian ribbons are technically some of my favorite ribbons. This mic in particular, I thought it was more like the vintage Russian, but it's not. And what I'm going to show you right now is actually something really interesting because I did not know that it is a stereo ribbon. This guy really lucked out because I told him I was just going to do one ribbon, but there's 2 ribbons in there, and I'm going to go through this and change it. So I've never done this one before, and we're going to find out what we have going on. It's a little bit different than what I thought would be inside, but you can see, let's get something here we can use. Yeah, you can see that there's one ribbon here and one ribbon there. And here's the crazy thing. I can already see that this one is busted. I can't remember I think the guy said these were like brand new sent to him. And the way it looks here, looks like there's a positive and then a negative. So, yeah, it's a dual ribbon. The only ones I see that are like this are whatchamacallit, CADs. This one called Titan. I actually have a mic coming in. It's a stereo ribbon. It's a, oh my God, I forget the name of it. But anyways, yeah, so interesting about this being stereo. Now, once again, I've not done this mic before. It looks a little insane, but I'm sure like most mics, it will succumb to being replaced and worked on. So obviously I'm gonna work on this side. Now what's interesting, it's in an angle. So this is the front, which means that the mic is kind of tilted down. Now, when Steve Albini would do ribbon mics and use a 74 Junior, if this is the speaker, he'd always tilt the mic kind of down so that when the sound hit the ribbon, it would not be not damage it. So what's interesting about this mic is you've got these plates protecting the front of the ribbon, but there's a little bit of gap there and gap there and gap there. So on the head basket, okay, so interesting, it has silk all the way on the inside, which definitely helps it. In construction, I just did the bottom because that made sense. I'm glad there wasn't anything crazy going on, but obviously the top just screws on right there, but it doesn't really have anything else to do with the mic. Yeah, so it's a dual ribbon, which I have to take a note of that because that's double the work. But I already promised my homie that I would do this. So there you go. So this is eletro-harmonix EHR1 ribbon mic. Doesn't say anything about being a dual ribbon, but there you go. Now, it is a dual ribbon, and I don't know which one would be positive and negative. I guess it doesn't matter. So we have a probably somewhere in the bottom below this, there's going to be a maybe through the contact there or wiring or soldering, there'll be a negative coming up into one and then a positive into one. And it basically sums this into being one sound. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. See, Luke B, we are currently witnessing the creation of an entire submarket boutique. I hope so. You know, and here's the thing. These ribbons in here are really small. They remind me of RCAs. Thank you, Luke. Mr. Nieto, that's me. So yeah, I haven't been on, I mean, I can't even, 2 weeks ago, maybe three, I don't even remember. I was on a roll of doing so many microphones. And then what happened is, you can, like I said, you always should think about what you wish for. And I'm a one-man crew. It takes me 48 hours sometimes in each mic, and some of them I'm painting. So it just ate up a lot of my time, and I want to make sure that I get everybody back in dual time and pronto. I've had a lot of things going on in my life, even my own ribbon mic, being in design, getting it done. And here's the thing, if I can get my ribbon mic finalized within the next week, I possibly could have the mics for sale in the new year. My mics will be something like a BK5 or Buy 160. It's going to be more directional, where like this is figure eight, and all ribbons are figure eight. But my microphone, if this is the sound, it comes in here. My sound will be coming into here, and it goes into the body. So it's more of a supercardioid. Yeah, but this is, I love Russian ribbon mics. Obviously, this is branded, and it probably has something to do with Octava because it looks like an Octava. But this is branded with electro-harmonics. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Now, I haven't taken this apart. I haven't worked on this mic. I don't really know what I'm going to be getting into, except I think it's going to be a little bit complicated. Not only is it two ribbons, but it's got a little bit of an apparatus around it. Hold on, let me get a, I think I should get a rubber thing to work on here. Hold on. I feel like this mic is gonna go rolling around on me. And I usually would put this into a bracket, but hold on, let me get this chair going on. It's trying to scoot up here. It's been a minute. I'm gonna get myself adjusted here to work with the iPhone right in front of me. And on a budget wise, you know it's bad when Manny has to break out Kirkland sparkling water. If you want to help me out, you can buy me below the description. There's a thank you icon. You can buy me a cup of coffee. You can buy me a sparkling water. I wanted to say everybody wants you to subscribe, but if you become a member, I'm going to be doing some cool content soon, especially when it comes to my own ribbon mic. So if you want to become a member, you can sign up. Right now, I believe I have 8 people that are members. But anyways, cheers, everyone. I'm going to get my brain going on. Now, this is Kirkland sparkling water, but I actually spiked it with this amazing cherry soda. It's so bad. Okay, so looking at this, now I don't necessarily would need to maybe undo this whole thing, but putting the ribbon inside there could be a little bit of a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just take apart the back side. I'm going to do the front side. And once again, I've not worked on this microphone before. I worked on one similar to this, but not this one. I was actually shocked to find it to be a stereo mic, which financially too is supposed to be a little bit more, but my mistake for not being versed in all the models. I was positive because this one looked exactly like, I don't know if it was a 17. It was another eletro-harmonix mic that's just fucking godly. And these over there. And once again, this is a ribbon microphone. Now, if you want to know what ribbon microphones are in the world, it's probably one of the oldest microphones. I mean, saying that caveman's used them is close. These are actually from the 1930s or 20s they were developed. I've actually worked on some of the oldest ribbons in the world. If you look back at my videos, you'll see a Telefunken. That one was maybe the 1930s, which was insane because people know that Telefunken is usually associated with tube microphones. I did not know that they had a ribbon microphone. My screws are having a mind of their own. So yeah, you can watch me do one of those. So I don't really have a lot of fear as far as, I mean, this looks, if this was 3 years ago and I opened this up, I'd be like, oh fuck. Looks insane. But now that I've gotten really used to like kind of the ins and outs of what they're doing, the interesting thing about this one is that the plate's behind the ribbon. So it's kind of giving you a kind of a, even though I said they were figure 8, I just, as I'm speaking about this microphone, that plate behind the ribbon is kind of like what is 77, RCA 77 would do. Now when I take this off, I'll see if there's any kind of, you know, a gap or anything in there, but it looks pretty exciting. Excuse me, I had a bean and cheese burrito and I feel like I'm talking and burping at the same time and drinking sparkless water. So yeah, this looks pretty insane, I will say. Yo, Joe, New Jersey. Please let me know what's going on with that, Joe. Joe picked up a really super sick mic for me. And yeah, I'm excited to see what you got going on, man. And I appreciate that. Yeah, man, I'm excited to hear how that mic goes and give me a ring. So yeah, like I said, I've never worked on this mic. Now, I am familiar with, I've done a zillion 19s, and I think the other one was a 17 or 15 I've done before. They all kind of have the same vibe, except this one, these ribbons are kind of reminding me like if they were like 77 ribbons, like 2 of them. So anyways, I love Russian ribbon mics. There's a lot of people that talk kind of smack about them a little bit because they say maybe they weren't as high quality, and maybe that's why they become affordable. But looking at this one, like I said, one ribbon is already blown. I know that. So I think the guy that had this never tested them. And like I said, these little black things on the screws I think are probably like somewhat of a lock to make sure they don't move. Or obviously, if you were to send this back to them, which I think this one's too old, they probably wouldn't even service these. All right, so I've just done that. This wire, which is interesting, is going under this bracket. So I'm pretty positive I cannot take this plate off unless I do these two screws here. Make sure I can catch them if they are going to fall off. Screwdrivers that I like better than this one. Hold on a second. I've been working on my prototype microphone, so my desk was occupied with everything I needed for that. But my little handy green screwdrivers, I really like them, so I need to. And this is weird because everything's flathead in this, not Phillips. So gotta get my flatheads out. This one I had bent, so it's kind of like it kind of messes with me a little bit every time I go to use that. Hold on now. Oh, and this one will work better, I think. I think so. Yeah, that black paint, whatever that is, a little weird to. Do this without breaking anything. And yeah, it's a ribbon mic, Manny ribbon mic mayhem. So I think these mics are a few $100. And I will say, I haven't tested this one because it wasn't working. So I'm actually excited to test this one before I send it back. These screws are a little bit more embedded, I'm assuming, because that is the either positive or negative. And once again, I don't know if these are considered vintage. Once again, I've never worked on this mic or this style. I mean, I've worked on a lot of stereo mics, but not this one. But symbolically, even if you open up like a really obscure RCA, like a SK46 or something, which would look strange when you open them. After you have done a few of microphones, it all starts to kind of make sense on how they're put together. Now, how they came up with this idea, I'm not sure, because the plate, interesting enough. Now, I haven't had it come off yet. Okay, so I just removed these. What I'm thinking is, because I haven't opened this up yet, I'm thinking when this plate comes off, there's probably I think there's gotta be like a slit right there underneath this plate. So the sound kind of comes in and then it goes into there, into the ribbon. So this is kind of like how it keeps high sound pressure. But what's interesting is they didn't have it go all the way back to here. So this, I mean, sound can still get in there, and if it's too loud, can still blow those ribbons. So like I said, one is already blown. You can see right there when I open it up, that was already shot. So no matter what, it has to be done. But what I don't know is technically how this is going to all come apart. out now, if it can go through, is that when this bracket comes out, I don't want to take a chance of pulling these and tweaking them. Hold on a second. What's wrong with the little gaffer's tape? So if you know the guy that's all, oh, I'm gonna put a little bird here, put a little shade here. I forget his name. Not Ross. What is his name? The guy that does those paintings. But now they have the AI where he's like doing all kinds of crazy shit, playing guitar. A little tip I always do with gaffer's tape, because it's fucking brutal, is I put a little tab on there so I can pull it off. I'm just gonna, I don't want this to break or anything, so I'm just gonna just tape it aside, and maybe not over the logo. I'd hate the paint to come off. Hold on. Yeah, it'll be fine. So I've never done these plates. They are loose now, but it looks like they're glued too. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna remove it from this, because I think we may have some issues. I don't know if you ever saw Alien, when the acid of the alien would eat through all the layers of the spaceship. Well, I'm going to remove this glue, and I'm going to use acetone, and that will destroy my board, the foam, the styrofoam, because it's kind of nasty, but it's just basically nail polish. All right, let me see if I got a, I do have a Q-tip. All right, so it's a Sunday night. I don't know who's out and about doing shit. I mean, if it was me, I would be having a burger right now. So I'm going to do is kind of remove some of this glue if it can come off. Just acetone. Some. I'm going to eat through this plastic here. I'll put some glue back on this when it's done, but I'm pretty positive it's been shellacked and glued in. Just without trying to break it. You don't want to break it. I'm just using basically acetone to remove the glue to make sure that I don't just pull this apart. And when I put it back together, I will put the glue back. Here, just gonna put a little bird right there, maybe a little shadow. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what we got. If you're just dialing in here, I'm just gonna do a little ribbon microphone. Some ribbon microphone. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, so once again, I haven't worked on this, but I did do the screws here. Now, I do think it's important that I've got to get the plates right. Obviously, this one comes around and it's a little bit below this one. And once again, I do believe when I remove these, there's going to be probably a slit right there that lets the sound go in here. Bayer 500s have something like that. The Russian ones have done something like that. I'm curious to think that, does it really need this? But it's not my job to really, you know, I'm not going to change this microphone because I think the guy that just wants it to work. So, can I get in here without fucking everything up? Strange. As well. Yeah, that's the one that's damaged right there. This is the whole plate. So yeah, those are the, what I told you about. Probably what happened is these protect the sound. So when it goes in there, it then goes to these holes. Now here's crazy, that's magnetized. So that's a magnet. Yeah, it's a magnet squashed in there. That's so cool. So it looks like there's two magnets. And the little, yeah, there's nothing here. Oh yeah, it's magnetized. So yeah, two magnets separated by this little plate. So what I'm gonna do is to make sure, I think that's important because magnets, they have to be oriented in the way they came. So I'm gonna just, see, when I'm doing this, it won't let me put it on. It's the magnetism is like, fuck you. So if I go like this, I think this is gonna slam it together. No? Oh wow, they're going counter. Make sure I get this right. Hold on. Wow, that's why they're pulling them apart the opposite direction. I just gotta make sure I get this right though. Hold on. These are really hard, strong magnets. That ribbon's coming out. Be me. these clamps, actually, it's kind of like a tiger in a cage. These clamps are keeping it tight and pulled together. Hold on. Okay, let's just do this. Okay. There he is. The man himself. Wow, you got it. Yeah, we're going over this. This mic is, so I don't know if you saw it all, but yeah, when I got it, that ribbon was wasted, but then as I look inside, they're pretty lax, both of them. But yeah, that one's definitely was ruined. I didn't test it. I don't think it would have worked anyways. But these magnet plates are so crazy weird. So it's like, okay, so you gotta put this inside there, and it's a slot. So I gotta do this now before I put my ribbon inside and have to go through all this again. Okay, so that has to go in. Hold on. Whew, really strong. I'm gonna go that side first. Oh shit. Really difficult. Man, it's just screaming to one side. So it's almost like they put this in. You know why? Because it's one side is, I can't even get it in there. That's why the brackets are kind of holding it down. But this is the time to do it, because once I put a ribbon inside, I don't want to deal with this. I just want to know how it's going to go. And after I put a nice ribbon in it, I definitely don't want to be fooling around with my fingers everywhere. Okay. Phew. Almost like a Reslo. Reslo has something kind of like this. So what I'm thinking is, I'm looking at this. I'm just gonna do the top. Hold it now. All right. It's a fucking son of a bitch to get these two plates to interact with each other. These kind of restrictive plates are on it because it's kind of holding them in, and why they're glued together. I mean, now that it's in and once this is screwed in, I'm having my screwdrivers magnetized now. You son of a bitch. Now that you have these two plates that are screaming to come apart, it makes sense of why they kind of had to put all those like belts around it to hold it in. It's glued in. Just a little bit. I was gonna tell you, Mitch. I didn't know this is a stereo mic. The one that I did, I thought it was I think it was a 17 or 15. Looks identical to it. I didn't know this one had two ribbons in it, but it doesn't matter. It's still fucking cool. These are some of my favorite mics. I mean, I can't say enough on how great Russian ribbon mics sound. One second, my phone battery just said it's going out. Hold on. Just had to do a little Sherlock Holmes on this. I mean, they're all kind of the same in theory, but how they're put together, like obviously when they made this mic, it's almost like they said, okay, let's do this. Oh shit, let's do this. Okay, now oh fuck, how are we gonna keep these ribbon, these plates together? And then they say, we'll glue them. Hold on a second, they're moving. We're gonna put brackets on them, so it's like constantly. Like I said, while you're watching this, if you guys want to subscribe, if you want to become a member, that's even fucking cooler. Or if you look in the thank yous, right below the description, there's, I think, a thanks icon. You could, oh shit, you could buy me coffee or Pellegrino or become a member or just help out your homie or don't. I mean, honestly, I do these somewhat of a tutorial. Like if someone was thinking about working on ribbon mics, it's a son of a bitch. You have to have a lot of patience. But if you have a knack for it and you can cut ribbons, why not have that skill if you're an engineer or producer to be able to grab microphones that you love? And yeah, it's pretty crazy, Mitch. Like, but I do a lot. I mean, actually, I think I can't see him, but there's a box next to me that has, I think they're called Avatones. It's identical to this, but not in design. And also, I think someone is sending me a Titan, which I want to say that's CAD, which are also stereo. Hold on. I'm gonna go. The reason I wanted to find out what's going on with this because one, I've not done this mic before. And I wanted to kind of know about these brackets. It was really interesting in its design. But now that I know that the bracket has two magnets that are pushing opposite polarity because one side is positive, one side is negative, for me to remove both of them, would mean that the ribbon's going to be floating in between these mics, and I just don't want to. I don't want to do that. That's what I meant about Resels are the same way. It's a really bitch to try to change the ribbon in those. So I'd rather just take my chances with the front side and not worry about the back side. These plates are, because of the way they did the mic, it's almost like oh, why this one's not going in? Oh. Yeah, when they're all tight, is making that screw seem a little bit crooked. And these are brass, so you don't want to bend them. That's what I mean. Like, you just can't come in here with just guns a-blazing, super torquing, you just got to make sure everything fits back the way it came. So I can tighten these now because all the screws, they feel like they're pretty snug again. We got the back plate on, and just want to make sure that this is properly up, so it'll be this way. I got my little arrows to show me which way everything was. So yeah, that looks right. So these are kind of like glued in like that. One has a line, one has a circle. That's how I'm gonna code these for myself. So I'll make sure when I put it back, everything is the way it was. Oh shit. We have the Avatar man himself. That is right. You guys, man. Are you guys stalking me? Oh God, I know. Thank you guys, man. Yeah, so they're all here. Hey, Mitch. We have a buddy that Mike's arrived just after yours, and he's got some Avatones, which is crazy, that are somewhat like this, but a different design. I will say probably a little bit easier for his Avatones. So we're going to remove this one. We don't really need it there until it's time to make this happen. So I'm assuming this guy's probably the same as the other one, just need a little... So directional, they go up. I don't need to do this. I just really fucking critical of that shit. I just want to make sure when I put it back, it's right. So obviously, this is for top, and the T is for top, the B is for bottom. Holy moly. I tell my wife, I'll be home soon. Shouldn't be a big deal. What was I thinking, man? All right. I know this is going to be a little bit of a bitch. Way. So those plates are off. So I'm going to remove, now that I know that these plates are screaming at each other to be pulled apart, I think what I need to do now is, I I think I need to take a drink of my sparkling water. All right. Holy moly. Sorry, you got Timmy Chug Lug. Oh, yeah, if you want to tune in tomorrow, I'm doing the Avatones. Actually, I got to go tomorrow or no later than the next day. I'll have those done. Hold on. So I had this down because I was using acetone to remove the schnizzle manizzles. And I didn't want it to eat through the foam. So we're going to do... this wide as fuck. I mean, it's cool, man. Thank you guys for sending these in. I mean, honestly, I'm excited to do this mic. I've never worked on one. I've worked on the vintage Octavas, which this is basically an Octava. But this one, even though I think it's considered vintage as well, really super bizarre design. But super cool. All right, so considering like last time, hold on. Considering that last time this plate was a ball buster to get off and on, I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing on this side. It's so strong. Whew. All right. We got my top, we got my bottom. Now this has a magnet in it, and it's a nightmare if I put it in my little container over there. So I have to put this somewhere that nothing's magnetized by it. I'll put it by the ribbons. Okay. So looking at it, when I got the microphone, obviously when it came out of the box, it looked like it was brand new. This ribbon was shot. You know, it could have been anything, dropped, moved, whatever. This one, I can tell you right now, is close to being, it's not as great as it could be. So now the biggest thing I need to do is get in there and change these ribbons, which is a long time ago. It would have struck fear in my heart. I would have been like, fuck. But see, the reason I put this plate in here is because if I would have removed that bottom plate, this centerpiece is gone. And then as I start to insert the bottom to get a good fit in the ribbon, it could tear the ribbon. So I'd rather prefer it to come in with this one, which I just took off, and it was a lot easier. If I lay it in there straight down, it should be fine. And that's a little bit of a trick, and that's why I mean Reslos are a son of a bitch, because the ribbons almost sit in the middle of nothing. And then you have to put the magnets in around it. I don't know about that design. I'm not sure why these magnets couldn't have been permanently mounted there, of why they need to be sandwiched together. I mean, what am I mean, this is probably designed 40 fucking years ago. But it is interesting. So nothing else is magnetized here. But that is. Yeah, see? This isn't. Nothing is. But that's the magnet. But the magnet is behind this plate. So like, this is the other side. We want to get that away so they don't stick to each other. There's the magnet right there. So that magnet is going to come down and touch this plate, and it's going to magnetize everything. And that's how it works. Interesting. Very interesting. Whew, holy moly. I said I was going to do this on a Sunday night. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Okay. Enough talking shit. Let's get into it. So first I need to remove the bad ribbon. Let me get my guts on to do this. Jesus. Now the Octava 19s are almost just like this as far as these little brackets that hold it. Those are in the 80s. Those are made in the 80s. I'm wondering if these were made in the 80s too or 90s. I think 90s would be these ones. Because if eletro-harmonix was into it, I remember when the Sovtex and all those came in, but I don't know if that was the 90s or early 2000s. All right, those screws can't be confused. They're a little bit bigger. Oh, cool, man. Thank you. Yeah, the Octavas that I love are 80s. And then I think it was the 90s was the version that was something like this, but it was still under the Russian Octavas. And there's probably another model of one of these that probably has the mono ribbon. That's the little plate that holds the ribbon down in there. So let me do this. So I'll put this one to the back. That is the back plate. Holy moly. Thank God I don't do coke and blow and do heroin and coming off a hangover. I haven't drank since 2008. I mean, I had a margarita like, I don't know, like 4 years ago on a Thanksgiving. But I don't drink, I don't do anything. I make fucking cool records, and I'm blessed to have my own ribbon mic. Looks like it's going to be finalized in the next few weeks. And my own ribbon mic will be for sale maybe in the new year. And I want to make sure that before my ribbon mic is even up for sale, like I know people would be like, just fucking sell it, but I'm just close to running it over my car. I really wanted to make sure it's good. It's going to be a super cardioid. So this is the back one. So what it is, the ribbon lays in that groove, and this presses against the ribbon. That's how it locks in. That's not a new design. I mean, I think RCA's and Kohl's or something like that. So while we're here, we might as well get the other one. So let me do this. I don't want to confuse these. Hold on. Gotta organize my screws to make sure that everything is aligned with where the microphone parts are coming from. Do the other side. Put a little happy little chemtrail right here. Put a little beaver in there. With me, hold on. Hold on. Sorry, you're gonna have to go the other side. You're fucking up my shirt. if the paint took out the groove. There it is. Usually when I'm quiet, I'm tripping balls. Just fucking with me. There it goes. Can be a bitch to put that back in there. Why, you son of a bitch, you. So you can see now, almost both are exposed. So that's the ribbon. Obviously, I'll do a better one than that, but that's considered a working ribbon. And this is the one that was destroyed somehow. It looks pretty destroyed. So it looks like it'd been just floundering around in there for a while. What I said about me not drinking doesn't mean that I'm against people that drink. I have some friends that, you know, when they're not drinking, they're a little bit fucking not right. They have a drink and then they relax. They've obviously got some issues, but fuck it. Mine was my dad had died. See, alcoholism runs in my family. And I never kept alcohol in my house because of that reason. But then after my dad died, I always had a bottle of Casadores in the freezer. It's so fucking good. I'd wake up and get a little orange juice, or I'd have a squirt and just do a shot and then throw it down. But there came a point where you realize when alcoholism kicks in, and you don't really know it's kicking in because your brain is talking to you. It's almost like when you see those silly movies where they have like the devil on the shoulder and then the angel. And so what happened was, after my dad died, I was going out, and without realizing it, I knew everybody locally here in LA. My friend used to joke around and say I was like the mayor of LA. It didn't matter what club I went to or how long the queue was. I always knew the bartenders. I always knew most of the door guys were just dudes from other clubs. So they'd be like, "Hey, Manny, what's up? Come on in." And right when I sat at the bar, I would know the bartender, and instantly it was like 2 Tecates and 2 shots of Casadores. Right when I like walk up. So what happened was, you know, I usually would rarely throw up and get sick. And without feeling like I was like throwing up because like I drank too much, I started throwing up blood. And then your mind goes, "Oh, next time you go out, just have a shot of, have a chaser of Tecate with that. That'll do it." "Oh yeah, sounds like a good idea." Then I'd have like go out and I'd get a shot and a Tecate, and I'd always make sure I drink some Tecate, and then the shot, I would take a shot with 7-Up per squirt. And I thought that would like somehow dilute the alcohol. And then suddenly I'm throwing up blood again. Okay, next time, this is what you're gonna do. And like I found myself like after like a month of throwing up blood was like, are you fucking crazy? You're throwing up blood and you're telling yourself that next time you go out, you'll just have less or more, or take a shot with some water, or make sure you have a good dinner before you go out. All this fucking shit. And I'm just like catching myself going like, you are fucking up. And at that time, I was in my early 40s. I'm almost 60 right now. So that was some mind-blowing shit to see your body start to talk you into like, hey man, and because your body wanted it, your brain wanted it. It was like, why? Don't be a fucking pussy. Just go drinking again. And I just realized, man, you're fucking up. So what happened was, after I'd seen this was happening, I did a lot of records in Honolulu, Hawaii. I lived in a hotel for almost 2 years in Honolulu, Hawaii, the Ohana East. I had the local discount. It was like $68 a night. And I was recording punk bands all over the island. I mean, fuck, dude. You talk about a dream. It was just to work in Hawaii. And oh my God, it was like the best thing. So I had come from LA, and this is the time I'd already been like throwing up blood, and I knew better. And I had flown into Hawaii really quick. So this is a ribbon from an Octava. Oh no, I'm sorry, a Russian one. Feels good. I mean, it's a good ribbon. It feels about 1.8. Yeah, so it tells you how delicate they are. So this ribbon, you just kind of do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Pixie dust. So that's how delicate it is. Just dust, as my wife says. So I went to Hawaii. Oh, and that's what I was telling you about those holes. So those sound holes are round because it cuts the low end. So it doesn't seem as boomy. That's cool. It's a cool design. So anyway, Hawaii is 3 hours different. So if it's 9 o'clock in LA, it'd be like 6 o'clock in Hawaii. And I had left like on a 5 o'clock flight. Got into Hawaii like, 8 or 9. And it would have been 8 or 9 my time. But it was really 6 o'clock in Hawaii. So when I got there, I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, man. It's only 6 here, man. I could, whew. Let's go out. My friends picked me up. We got drinking. Had a bunch of more. I only drank, my whole life of drinking, I only had, I drink tequila and Mexican beer. Mostly Tecates or Coronas with lime and tequila. That just was my jam. So I did it up. Suddenly it was like, and I had a session that next morning, and I remember I had, I just remember it was like 2, 3 in the morning, and that's what I meant about removing the bottom page. I can't really. Those little brackets are the Hey, Chaz is here. Chaz, I just sent him out a bunch of mics too. Chaz got 2 fat heads. What was the other one, Chaz? An 80? so cool, man, to see everyone here. Hey, Chaz, meet my homies. Mitch has this is Mitch's mic. He just made a comment. Eletro-harmonix stereo ribbon. And then we got our homie from New Jersey. He just sent me some Avatones, I believe. So, check one thing real quick. So, Chaz has a studio. He just did a really badass. If you can, everyone, go to Electric Owl Works YouTube. Chaz just did a really super sick video on one of the mics I did for him. And it was super fucking classy. Thank you, Chaz. Yeah, it was an MXL R80, 2 fat heads, and a Golden Age. And Chad just did a jazz ensemble or a jazz record. And it was so rad that he did some before and afters. I mean, really brutal. I mean, he fucking put them through a ringer. And I was really thrilled that as much as I talk the talk about how much a great ribbon and cutting them matters, proof is what Chaz just did, man. It's so cool to hear the definition, the quality of a really good cut ribbon made in his microphone. And we're talking about a $20, $50 microphone. He put that on some horns, and it was just incredible sounding. And yeah, I just was completely blown away on this whole video. It was so fucking cool. You know what? Speaking of cool, I think I need to get gotta cut these because they're kind of too thick. So yeah, he did a thorough. I mean, dude, I didn't know he was gonna go that. That was kind of scary, but I'm down for it. He put me to the test. He's like, "Fuck, you gonna talk some shit, Manny? We're gonna check your shit," and he fucking checked my shit, man. Oh my god, did he fucking do that? Okay, there it is. Let's gotta get that out. Yeah, I mean, he really put it to the ringer, tested them. So yeah, if you can, go to his, if you see him commenting there, Chaz for Electric Owl Works, go to his page and you're going to see him totally testing these mics out, making sure that they, you know, they kicked ass. Chaz is always working. He's going to be out in LA. If any of you guys are going out to AES, he's going to be there. All right, so there we go. So those are two spaces now that are not occupied by a ribbon. And that gives you an idea of how that ribbon worked. The sound comes into these holes, but the sounds are actually protected by this bracket. So almost just as I'm showing you right here, the sound is hitting this and then going around, and then it comes to these holes, and that makes the ribbon move. And the ribbon is sandwiched between another magnet that's there. These two wires are coming in to here, and those are basically going to be one's positive and one's negative. So there isn't technically a stereo ribbon. They're not independent. It's just giving you a really interesting wide width of sound. And I gotta say, the Avatones fucking rock. And the Titans rock, the Cats. And yeah, really, really super impressive with that design, which is crazy. I mean, I didn't think of that shit, but they did. Enough talking shit. Holy smokes. I gotta get into this now. I have to figure out the gap of these. Do that then. Holy smokes. Holy moly. Okay. So that ribbon is 280. The other side is going to be 260. That's the gap. They're offset. But that's just the way it is. What do you want me to do? The schnizzle manizzle. All right. Whew. All right. Jesus Christ. What am I doing? I'm pounding sparkling water. Jesus, I'm living fucking large. Okay. Well, let's get to it. Let's see something real quick right here. Are a little bit shorter. Let me see if I got something here. Hold on. All right, so I have to measure this. I think these are going to be like, maybe like 1.5 inches. Of a ribbon for this one. I think these are 5 inches. So intense. So if you wanted something really exciting, this may not be your video. Like I said, there's some guy in Pakistani who car came in or truck came in with a broken axle and with his sandals and barefoot and no fucking eye protection. He's gonna solder that shit or fucking weld that shit together with some chains and shit with his buddies. That's what I'm talking about. That's exciting. Benchmark. So we're gonna cut the side with the 2.80 gap first. I'll tell you about Hawaii. So anyways, I went out drinking, and I truly believe that probably the first time in my life I got alcohol poisoning. It was insane. My friend, who was a nurse, happened to be at this party, and when people have alcohol poisoning or at the point of like, you're losing your mind because you're too drunk. I've never taken drugs in my life. They gave me something, some kind of serum or whatever, and it just fucking fixed me up. And I was like, holy shit, what was that? And I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. Whatever that was that they give people in emergencies if they're having alcohol poisoning. So then I felt better. I went to the session the next day, but it had like a 10-hour max, and then after that, I was fucking sicker than a dog again, almost like a repeat of the hangover. I remember it's that whole thing. I know you're looking at the toilet, like, if I ever feel better, I'm never gonna drink again, and it was true. I never drank again after that. I just remember it being so terrible, and it was fucked up, and I just didn't want to feel. I love waking up, having some coffee, not having a headache, and really getting to business and getting the day on and doing things musical, artistic, and being constructive. And I felt like that just wasn't my jam. Now, my friends that smoke weed all the time that feel great, I wish I could do that. I can't smoke weed. I can't. It doesn't work good with me. I was having panic attacks. I was going to die. Weed did not fucking treat me well. So guess what? It's milk and Chip Ahoy cookies. That's my demon, and I don't do them. I always walk by the cookie department and go, God, if I had that whole bag of Chip Ahoy and some cold milk, I'd drink that shit. Fucking one sitting. So that tells me if I was to be into Coke, if I can't fucking put down a box of Chip Ahoy, you think I'm gonna be able to stop doing fucking blow? Fuck no. I'm the wrong guy for that. You know, weed smells so fucking good. I wish I could do it, man. I'd smoke weed all the time if it just didn't just fuck with me. Right, so I've never taken coke in my life either. I don't know how I avoided that coming up in the 80s and all my friends were in rock bands and metal bands, and it just never made sense to me to put some powder up my nose. Never felt right. Tequila and beer, I loved it. But it just, and then weed did not go over well with me. And the only time I ever, well, I shouldn't say that, to be honest with you. I went to Monsters of Rock, and my friend Bobby, who was one of my best friends, not anymore, but was. He's like, dude, you ever taken acid? I'm like, no, it's really fucking cool. Here, just take this tab and just we'll drink vodka. I don't know what the fuck. I'm so stupid. I think I was like 21. And I took a tab. No, half a tab. He's like, take a half a tab. Cool. And I do it. He's like, how do you feel? I don't really feel anything yet. Okay, take the other half of the tab. I think he knew what he was doing. I didn't. And we went to Monsters of Rock, Van Halen, Scorpions. Um, it was insane. It was so fucking good. And I think it was like 18 hours. I was high, and then I remember it was at the Coliseum, which is not a good area at night, especially back in the 90s. I remember we couldn't remember where our car was, and there was cops on horseback that were chasing us down. It was just fucked up. And then after that, we got back to Bobby's house, and his nana was there, and she was awake. I don't know how we didn't get back that late. It must have been about 10 or 11. And of course, the nana was like totally like, she had no idea that we were fucking hammered. And she's like, the Bruce Lee's on TV. Oh yeah. And then there was a Bruce Lee like movie. I mean, all the Bruce Lee movies back to back. So we just sat there in the living room with this nana, not knowing that we were fucking frying on acid and drunk. And we watched all the Bruce Lee movies. And I think I ended up leaving. And I lived with my nana. And I drove back to my house, and my nana saw me, and she's like, "You're out all night." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go to bed." And I went to sleep, and I woke up like 2 the afternoon the next day, and I was still a little bit fucking high. Oh my fucking god! And I was just once again never gonna do acid again. I appreciate those kind words, brother. Thank you so much. I don't take you guys for granted that you guys that chime in here, man. I remember doing these. Right now, it says that there's 40 people watching me, but I remember doing these, and they were strictly made for just, showing people that you know, you could fucking fix a ribbon mic. 1 second. And no one showed me how to do this. I was really bummed out that there were people in the US that knew how to do this, and they fucking wouldn't do any videos on this shit. I was like, can anyone fucking take apart a Buyer 160? I'd love to know. And no fucking way. Fuck no. And yeah, that was my starting of my mission of like, this is fucked up. I wish more people talked about ribbon mics. So I decided, you know, and there are people that I consider the best in the US. I think Coles is one of the best ones there, and there's a few other cats. But as I got better and better, and I started doing Coles, and no one does Coles. They're so fucking difficult. And I figured them out. And I felt really like, I will say this, I think in the US, if you had 10 people that do what I do, I think I would fit somewhere in that 10. I'm not saying that I'm the best at this. There's guys that can, like Coles can rebuild a fucking wasted microphone. I'm not saying that I was going to do that. I love the ribbon technology. I love making microphones sound better. But all me doing this was strictly to learn how ribbon mics work so I can make my own ribbon mic. And I did. I'm not even fucking lying. It's right there, my mic. I would love to fucking show you the mic, but oh my God, it's in patent pending right now. And I have to wait till we get the okay that we could, at least when it's, I guess, logged in or somehow it's registered, I could then show you the mic. And that's why I said if you are not a member, please add me, because in the next month, as soon as we get the okay, I wanted to show you guys my mic, talk about it, and it'll be exclusive to only members. I'm not gonna make it public until the mics are up for sale. But we're planning on selling them sometime in the new year, January, February, and I'm planning on getting them done in the next week. The people that are making, it's made all in Southern California, minus the magnets, which I know they have to come from China or somewhere. I'm gonna see if I can get them sourced out somewhere else, but realistically, so I can't say that it's all made in California. It's assembled in California, and minus the magnets, everything else is manufactured here, which is fucking awesome. But costs a lot of money, man. Pretty much anything I had in my life is into this microphone. And I have 4 other partners, gratefully. My friend Dimitri, who has an amazing studio called, if you look him up on Instagram, it's Fun with Audio, and his studio is called the Rainforest Room in Honolulu, Hawaii. And then my friend Mondo, my best friend Mondo, is in my band. He's a partner here. And he's actually in Kim Deal's band. He was in Morrissey. He was in Fear. I met Mondo recording The Breeders. I did a Kim Deal from The Breeders, had a record I worked on with Steve Albini. That's how I really met Mondo. And then Earl Houston, real sweetheart of a guy, smartest fucking guy I've ever met, knows everything about everything. And so yeah, we put together a cool crew of people that I felt could really help the company. And so far, and then lastly, Keith Wagner was in a band I recorded on my own label. And I brought him in specifically for another part that I can't tell you about, but I brought him in for something else in the design. We're not doing that design, but I brought him in for that. And then he got a hold of we talked about it, and I explained to him what I wanted to build and the design, and the guy just went fucking all in. Not only did he go all in, he started CAD designing everything, and we really, I mean, I made the mic that well, I should say he helped out make the mic that I really wanted. And I can't even believe that I'm have next to me a microphone that came alive after of all these years of working on ribbon mics. I've kind of put it together in a design. All the things that I hated about certain mics and how they were made, and we went through it and worked out all the parts. So I could say that I've made a dream mic for myself. I love the sounds of Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun, and Michael Beinhorn used the BK5. I love 160s, and I just wanted to do something like that. So the safest one would have been for me to make. I'm always working on MXLs and stuff. Is to make a big, full-bodied figure eight ribbon, which is super easy, sounds good on everything, and long as it's loud and cool. I mean, I'm gonna make one, but it's not gonna be like normal. It's gonna be a little bit specific to what I wanted. Um, but the microphone that I finally made, I had a 3D printed one that I'd used for about 3 months. Did a bunch of records with it. I could not fucking believe that it wasn't even finally made out of all the right parts, and it sounded fucking godly. So I know I got the design right, but there's so many factors within the transformer and all the things that I need to get squared out. So I'm hoping that can happen in the next month or so, and I can give you guys kind of an update on that. And if you are members, I'll give you guys the first shot to getting the microphones. We're going to make 100. I think about 10 of them are going to be sent out to a bunch of different producers I know. And like I said, I always use this analogy, just close to them running it over in their car. I really want people to be honest. Even Chaz, when he did that mic, he told me he was going to test it and do all this stuff. Fuck yeah. You know what I mean? I talk all this shit that my ribbons are good. Okay, well, let's just see. And I wasn't arrogantly thinking that. I was just like, okay, even for myself. I'm like, God, you spent so much time cutting ribbons and seeing that. What a better test is to have someone who's a producer throw it through the ringer and find out what's going on. So I do like that idea and that process of making sure that, and not only that, I want to make them in, even though we're making 100, that still permits us that if there's something wrong within that design, we can still change it. We'll never be able to make like 1,000 at a time or something. It's going to be like groups of 50s and 100s. So yeah, my first 100 that'll come out will probably be the beginning of the year, and it's going to be crazy. Oh shit, I'm boring myself. um, I'm just stretching. Oh my god, this is stressful. Woo. Um, I really want to make one of the greatest guitar ribbon mics. That's my goal. I know that's fucking a bold statement, but I'm trying to make that happen. No, I'm trying, man. Okay, so now I'm corrugating the ribbon. And this is one. I got two. So this one I cut to 2.80, which is going to be the right side, and then the left side, I've got to cut it to 2.60. Small, but, that's what she said. Son of a bitch. So this is the ribbon. That's one of them. So I've cut that. Now I'm going to put it in these gears to corrugate it. This is the secret right here. No, that's not right. Now that looks beautiful. It's almost as pretty as my eyes. So that's a good ribbon. That looks fucking awesome. So I need to put 2 of those in the microphone, and before I talk shit about my work, I gotta make sure that you have to stretch the ribbon before you put it inside. And I gotta do 1, and then I gotta do 2. So it's not necessarily about the celebration of right now because it looks like it's a good cut. Because I just literally need to now do 1, then do 2, and then I have to install them. But I'm looking for my other tweezers. Hold on. Where is my tweezers? Hold on. Hold it now. How did I lose a set of tweezers? Got them. Sorry about that. I'm bumping you. Hold a second. All right, so now I'm going to stretch the ribbon, which you kind of have to do this because if I don't, when the ribbon's installed, the first time sound pressure hits it, when it collapses or uncollapses, you just gotta kind of have to stretch it out. Oh, I gotta get it straight. It's so delicate to stretch these, but it really makes a big difference. Okay, so now I've never worked with this mic before, so I'm gonna take a crack at this. It seemed like a little bit of a bitch, honestly. That's a real tight gap in the back, but I gotta make it work. The hardest part is my Q-tips are, that area in the back is really difficult to get it in, so I think I'm gonna have to put a little bit extra alcohol back there, and hopefully that Q-tip will I don't mind it dripping a little bit. Be a little bit of a bitch because it's a tight fucking, it's a tight gap right there. Hold on. So my Q-tips aren't gonna really fit back there for me to make an adjustment, which I'm realizing right now. So I'm gonna get some wire cutters and just do the best I can. Hey, sorry, just a question. No, it's all made by me. I mean, I have my partners and stuff, but I'm pretty much the one that puts it all together. The design, everybody's going to have some things to do. A lot of it has nothing to do with the making of the mic. That's all on me. Um, but it's all going to be made here in Southern California. All the parts, the tolerances of everything. I'm really fucking critical. Like the gap is never going to change. Things like that are so important to me after working on this and realizing that two ribbons, the gaps are different. It fucking drives me crazy. But I'm gonna, that's my goal. My own thing is just to make this mic really be the best it can be. That is a bitch. I can't see the fucking hole. Oh shit. I knew I was gonna do that. Son of a bitch. Fucking bitch. This is difficult. Really fucking difficult. Holy fucking cows. Holy fucking cows. Jesus. Whew. I got 3 more brackets to do. Son of a bitch. Like I said, there's plenty of things on the internet to watch. Feel free to go if you don't want to see this. If you like it, subscribe. It'd be awesome if you became a member. You can always, underneath the icon of the description, you can buy me a cup of coffee. You can buy me a sparkling water. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Whew. That was just one. I've got a few more to do. Where did I do my YouTube? There it is. is what it looks like. Let me put the T bracket back in, see if I can get this one going. It is important that I put the same ones back. It looks like this is only going to really work if the same ones go back where they were. An octave Russian ribbon mic with 2 ribbons, and definitely challenging on my skills. As much as I talk shit, I've never worked on this mic before, and it is testing me really, really thoroughly. I mean, there's a lot of, thank God I've done Reslows and a bunch of other ones. This one is challenging. I mean, those people that put this mic together, maybe the jigs they made this when they put it together were a lot easier too. I mean, if I didn't have the transducer stuck to the body, it'd be way easier. But I'm not going to take it all apart so I can make it easier like that. I think I obviously did one side already, so kind of figuring out as we go the best way to do it. You see my screwdriver keep on slipping. I don't want to slip the other direction. Then rather stab my finger than to stab the ribbon at this point. So I don't want to put these down, tie these down too tight until I know that it's locked in before I crank it down. Holy smokes. Alright, that's one ribbon. Looks better than it did before. Whew. Oh my god. Alright. Son of a bitch. If that mic could hear me, I would say, what the fuck? Who made you? Why did they do all these things like this? Couldn't they have just copied more of a... Even Coles, which are probably older than this, are not easier because of the ribbon, but installation, I don't know. I'm just fucking talking shit. Alright, so that ribbon, we cut it for a gap of... left is 280. The next one is going to be 260. I need to get some fucking water. If I smoked weed, I'd be smoking a joint right now, but I don't smoke weed, son of a bitch. Alright. It's time to break out the hard stuff. No more fucking around with this. We're doing some Topo Chico. Mm-hmm. Hold on. I've already been at this 2 fucking hours. Can you believe this shit? That's one ribbon. Oh. I'm not complaining. I like doing this actually, but whew, it is a little bit nerve-wracking. Now, when I go live like this, that's why it's nerve-wracking. If I was sitting here and there's no one around, I'd probably be sitting in my chonies, just fucking not giving a fuck, watching the YouTube news or something like that while I'm doing work. But when I go live, I mean, you can't fuck up. No, Shermo. As they say in France, you know what I'm fucking saying? All right, so we got to cut this ribbon to 260. Holy shit. All right, let's cut this. Like I said last week, I ran out of all my ribbon. And I gratefully got another batch in that I was able to cut about maybe 8 sheets that are somewhat like this. They're 5 inches by 3 across, I think. No. 5 inches by 3, I think. Yeah. Holy moly. Son of a bitch. Rinse and repeat. Like I said, I know I'm talking shit. I do like doing this. And I'm also, because I have my own ribbon mic, I learn a lot. I know definitely when I build a mic, I'm not going to build one like this. Jesus. But then again, you know, I mean, dude, I didn't think of this technology. It's pretty fucking genius. Whoever thought of a foil being able to move with wind between 2 magnets, positive and negative current, turns it to electricity, makes the metal waving around turn into sound. Just fucking genius. I'm talking shit about the design. I can't fucking make that mic. Kidding me? I mean, we have computers now to do all the setup, and I mean, we're literally like a guy going out to the machine, cutting it, or someone drawing it, and then handing it to another cat who had to go to his fucking get a plate of metal and make it into a microphone, make it work. That's some other kind of shit. All right, I need to drink more water. In the description, there's all kinds of cool ribbon mics. You could just contact me. My information's there. I'll give you a list of some cool mics you can buy. A lot of them immediately you can buy online. Some of them you can go search for. And I definitely make $100 mic sound like $1,000 mic for sure. And it's not because I'm doing some kind of black magic shit. I'm just taking the time of cutting these ribbons and installing them the way EA does, and Royer and Coles and BBC. And I mean, those are classy fucking mics, and there's no fucking, you know, the tolerances of what's accepted and not are fucking none. So when you get these mics that arrive from being shipped overseas and there's not really any care in the ribbon, but the mic's great. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's like, pretty mind-blowing. Cutting a good ribbon, what a difference it makes. I mean, it adds about 3 to 5 dBs of sound. It truly does. It's never easy, man. Ming. If you don't know what Ming is, Scarface. Whew. We're going to corrugate this. Do this. I do have to test it. And if it doesn't sound right, then I will, what you just saw me do, I will do it again until it sounds right. It's kind of like the way it is. So some of the mics that if you watch some of the other videos, people go and buy brand new MXL R144s. They used to be 99 bucks. Now they're 12 for obvious reasons. It went up that much. They sound fucking unreal. And what people do is they buy them out Sweetwater. They contact me. You get my P.O. box because it's free shipping in the U.S. for Sweetwater. So even if you live in Germany, you can buy them from Sweetwater, put in my address, and they ship it for me for free, and then I just have to ship it back to you. But I don't recommend that. I mean, most people, even in Canada, it's never fucking easy. Just fucking. So let's do it again. I used to get one and done like the last time, but just didn't like the way it looked. Just a feeling. And this is for someone that cares about their music they make. So I have to take that care in the cutting of the ribbon. I can't put a ribbon in there unless I really fucking stoked on it. And I wasn't stoked on that one. It's really weird. It's kind of like the way I cut the ribbon. It has to be like, it's almost like muscle memory. Like if something's wrong or something, I remember when I cut that right now, I just felt like something was off. And then when I look at the ribbon, I didn't like it. I didn't like it, man. So I have to do this again. That's mostly a thing, you know. Like a ribbon whisperer, like I can tell by the look of a ribbon how it's gonna sound. It's weird. I figured it out. I don't know, tension. I mean, I have all the gear to do tune. If these are larger ribbons, you could definitely put them on scopes and tune them and tension them. When I do the larger ribbons, I'll have to do that. But for right now, these ones are good enough to where it's more about looking at it, how's it feel. And plus, also when I speak into these mics, when I test the mic check 1, 2, 3, you can hear the low end and the top end of your voice. If there's something weird about the microphone, I can tell usually by just talking into it. So a lot of mine is just talking, physically looking at the ribbon, how's the tension, blowing into the ribbon, and then obviously plugging it in. I have ATCs, which are amazing speakers, and I've got Neves APIs, Wally Hider APIs, so I can run it through some serious gear, and it better sound fucking badass. If it doesn't, and that's the thing, like there's some people that do this that like have Mackies or so. I'm not saying you can't. I mean, look at, you can mix on anything really if you're used to your sound. But I know that if I'm gonna send this off to someone, it universally has to kick ass, and a lot of that has to do with making sure, at least on my rig, running the ribbons through Neves and APIs, it sounds fucking great. Dude, take your nap. Chaz, thank you so much for tuning in, man. I know it's a long one today. I'm already at fucking over 2 hours. But I can't go to bed until this is done. I'm on Pacific Coast time, so it's 10:45. I got a little bit of time. Chaz, thank you so much, man. And like I said, if you can, go into Chaz YouTube, check out Electric Outworks. Um, and he did a really badass video on testing one of the ribbon mics. I upgraded it for him. And, he told me he was going to do that. But I have enough confidence. Of course, I'm not saying like every mic I do is bulletproof. There's so many factors that can blow a mic when sound source. I'm definitely not making a mic ribbon that's invincible or can't be destroyed or indestructible. But I make a good ribbon. You handle it properly and you don't destroy it or open it up and blow into it and ruin it like some people have done, it'll last. Okay, hold on a second. That's what it is. I'm putting my hand around the phone when I cut it and it's tripping me out. Let me just put my hand on the other side. That's what it is. Cutting it with the phone in my way. Paul's in the UK, man. Paul, what's up? What time is it over there, Paul? 4 in the morning? No, what would it be? It would be like 6 in the morning? Or it's the other way? I can't remember. Paul, we'll be chatting. Hey, man. It's Sunday night in LA. I think you're already well into your Monday. Aw, dude. Hope you're well, Paul. Thank you for tuning in. I'm jealous if you're having coffee. That's what I want right now. I'm having a hell of a time with this mic. It's a real ball buster, but I was explaining that this mic is an Octava Russian mic. It's a stereo mic, but a little bit of I feel like it's got a little bit of a Reslo DNA in its design, a little bit, but it's definitely a ball buster. This has been definitely using all my patience and will to not just say, all right, everyone, I'm going to bed. I'm going to do this not on a live fucking vibe, but fuck it. I'm live. Doing this live, you can sit through anything. I mean, there's so much fucking cool shit on YouTube. I watch guys put fucking guns together and that's fucking interesting. Like, I don't know what it's like if you're not a musician. I mean, ribbon mics, in generally speaking, are a small percentage of the microphones bought in the world. I mean, sure, they make a ribbon, but I mean, just symbolically, ribbons are kind of an acquired taste. And of course, if you're not educated on it and you don't know about the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and Frank Sinatra, and even the Wizard of Oz, the sound of that is a ribbon mic. Those are what ribbon mics are about and why we love them. And now ribbons have become way affordable and they're cheap, but they kind of sound cheap. But in those cheap ones, there's some gems, and that's what we're talking about. Sorry. I'm strapped to the microphone until I fucking get this other ribbon in. Jesus Christ. All right, so there it is. That's a double ribbon. I've got to corrugate the ribbon, so that's what it looks like, Paul. It's really, they say it's vintage now, but really wild design. I know. So this one, this ribbon was wasted, and I replaced that. But in doing it, I'm just doing both of them. So it's a little bit difficult. But like I said, I've never worked on this mic. I thought it was the other one. The other, it looks identical to another octave I did. That was really a wonderful mic. I had no idea that this one was a stereo motherfucker. All right, so now I'm gonna corrugate it. So now we have to stretch the ribbon. You stretch the ribbon because once wind hits it, if I don't stretch it, it'll stretch out and then it won't go back to its original form. And that ribbon will be just kind of ruined inside the mic. If you watch those videos on how you should actually, if you're into this, I recommend one, going to a guy named Ulf, ULF. It's called Hoborec, HOBOREC. He's the one that had a video that was called How to Make a Ribbon Mic that I watched like, I don't know, 6 years ago, and it really fucking blew my mind. And I decided I can make a ribbon. And honestly, Ulf's my friend now. When he comes in LA, we hang out, and he's a badass. And yeah, I am fucking blown away that, that video changed my life, and here I am doing this for you. And like I said, I know I always mention about buying me a coffee or becoming a member, but this is kind of tutorial. This, it's expensive technically to buy all the stuff you need to do ribbons. Don't kid yourself. It's like getting into, even people that get into like go-karts and shit. Some of you have like a Formula One go-kart. Don't fucking think that you're gonna dabble into this and not be starting to spend money on shit and transformers and all that stuff. Holy smokes, man. Whew. I have that thing of where when you start it, you can't stop. Like, in other ways, I could totally be like, hey, dude, there goes this one ribbon. The other one's identical. We'll do it tomorrow. I'm like, fuck that shit, man. I gotta do this right now or I'm not going to bed. I gotta get this shit fucking right. Normal Sherman. You know what I'm fucking saying? Jesus Christ. What a fucking mic. What a fucking day. Jesus, it's Sunday. Right there. That Q-tip is thrashed. It's become very moppy. All right, so now we've learned something about this mic. When I'm quiet, I'm just tripping balls. This is intense. I'm not even being dramatic. You know, I do mics all the time. It's just like, I never worked on this mic. I never worked on the styles of this mic and something kind of like this. And I could see the influences of Russian Lemons and BK5s. But this was made a long time ago. And they definitely had a system for making this work. And I had to figure it out. Technically, I mean, how this mic was made, it's incredible. I'm talking shit about it, but it's like, only because there's no instruction manual on doing this. So me doing this microphone online right now that's live, I mean, some other cat will see it and be like, either fuck that shit or okay, let's see if we can do this. Let's check my skills, man. Manny thinks he's a fucking Raven Whisperer. I'll fucking show him. Do it. I don't fucking care. It's fucking fun. And the fact that I can get microphones out for $100 or $200 online, and if I need a mic for my studio, I know I can fucking tweak it out and trick it out to sound fucking good. I love that shit. Thanks to Ulf. OG. He's my OG. And then, you know, through all the years, Cole's has definitely been another guy that has been really cool to, you know, they're not even insider information. Some of these mics are just fucking brutal to work on. And they really weren't meant to be serviced. You know, like this mic. They just probably thought if you blow it, throw it away, get another one, you know? Who's gonna fucking go in and fix this shit? You know, the Russian guy was just like, I don't want to see this mic again. Don't send it back to me, man. No firmware. So if you noticed, the first side that I put in, it didn't really go in what I think would be considered good. So I didn't stop and worry about that. I'm kind of locking in the other side. So now I'm gonna have to go back to the other side, unlock it, and try to get the ribbon straighter. If I can't get the ribbon straighter, I'll have to make another one and do it again. Because I don't really like the way it looks, but I mean, I already know what's happening. It's just not set in there straight. It's okay, it moves around. This microphone in particular has because I don't have access to go really deep on the other side, I can't really do it the way I would usually use mic. So I need to undo this side and see if I could do it better. And if not, I'll have to start over and do them both again. Where did you go? Into the abyss? There you are. Holy smokes. Alright, one more drink of Tapatio. I mean, Topo Chico. I would drink some Tapatio right now. Oh my god. You know, a question regarding a jig. Only probably in the factory when these are made, you can probably get that. I'm sure buyer probably has them. Because I do so many different mics to manufacture jigs for all kinds of separate mics, it just really doesn't make any sense. There's no way you can get it to drop it in and have it be just right. It'd be really difficult. And you know, the ones that are like the hardest to work on, like these ones would be, you know, really, really difficult at the time to think of any or to even me design something that I could drop that in right now on the spot. It'd be impossible, really. It's not a dumb question. As I'm doing this, I'm like, wow, I'd do any other thing to make this an easier way to doing this, but it looks like it's not. Oh, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. That's why I kind of didn't want to do the bottom microphone. I mean the bottom plate, because now the magnet is it's eating the screw. Got it. Damn. Damn. Motherfucking fool. Jeez. Wow. All that to have a screw, you know, and that's part of the deal. You know, when I get a lot of mics that come from China, there's always marks where the screw flew out and hits the ribbon and destroys it, which is exactly what happened right there. I have to, I gotta cut another ribbon. Whew. We're at 165 minutes live. Oh man, my legs are. I think if I had to get up and run right now, I'd be out of fucking luck. All right, so let's get my brain together. This isn't one of those things where I'm gonna be able to go to bed unless I at least. Now, if I fail in the next one, then I just have to have. It's late here. I need to go have my coffee in the morning and a good breakfast, and it'll probably take me 20 minutes to do this one. But right now, at the end of the night, after a long day, I could be a little fatigued. This one is fucking challenging, man. It's super difficult. It's a bummer that I have to do it again. But you know, I shouldn't. I really do a lot of mics where it's one and done. I just cut one ribbon, install it, I get it done. That's rad. I love that. But this one, the only thing I will say is that it's not my comfort zone. I've never worked on this mic before, or this style. Even though it's a double ribbon like the Abatones and the Titans, those are different. Those are almost like R144 transducers. A lot simpler to work on. This one, challenging. I'm figuring it out, learning little techniques to, I can't use Q-tips in this one, which really helped me on the other mic. And I've got to kind of lay the ribbon in right the first time. And if it looks weird, it's not going to work out. Okay, so gotta make sure I got the right ones. So let's do this again. Rinse and repeat. Son of a bitch. Okay, let's get a ribbon. We're gonna cut it. And like I said, when I do these live videos, it's a lot of pressure. I'm always like, is that really a good idea to do a mic you've never worked on and do it live? But I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna learn, and you're gonna learn right now with me. And there's some guy that knows how to do these, like my buddy giving me some good advice. I'll take it, and if there's something I can apply to doing this, I will. I'm not at all saying that I know it all. I'm like you. It's like Sherlock Holmes. You open it up and go, okay, what does that screw do? Where's the magnets? Where's the positive and the negative go? And you just kind of do it. So, out of all the mics I say, I've done most mics of the world. I haven't done this one. And it's like a fighter getting into a match with some dude he doesn't know. And guess what? He didn't train for him. That guy's having his way with him. His jab is working. Right now I'm getting jabbed. The mic is got one of my eyes almost closed. It's jabbing me real good. I haven't figured out its plan. I'm staying away. I gotta close the distance. Be the aggressor. I gotta move him into the corner, not letting him get me in the corner. This mic it's winning. It's winning, Manny. It's got a good jab. All right, so let's cut it and try to get home into bed. That's my goal now. If I can put that ribbon in, I'll assemble it. I'll put it together tomorrow. But I gotta leave here with both ribbons in, just for my own fucking mental bravado. No, firmly. Holy shit. Oh, what a day. You really thought it was a good idea to go live with the mic you never worked on before? Fuck yeah, why not? But then the guy that sent it to me is like, dude, I'm tripping right now, Manny. You said you knew how to do that son of a bitch fucking mic. I did say that. But guess what? I think I'm pretty good. I think I got it. I got one in. We're going to test this motherfucker. And then we're going to get this mic to sound beautiful again. This mic is going to sound almost as pretty as my eyes. I will say that with confidence. Almost. You know what I'm saying? Okay, pen. Where is my pen? Okay, let's do a cut here. Thank God I've got a boatload of fucking ribbon now, so I'm cutting through this one. Almost at 3 hours now. Can you fucking believe that? Some crazy shit, man. I'm feeling it. Difficult. And being stressed out makes it worse. This. I do. Difficult. Maybe I should have did this one. Showed it to you after it was done. Like, yeah, listen, man, I got this thing done in an hour. I'm fucking talking shit. I'm going on 3 hours right now. I gotta cut this ribbon fucking good. If I'm quiet, I'm just tripping balls, man. We're going 3 hours on this mic. Holy moly, Batman. Holy cows, Batman. What the fuck's going on? Well, you met your match, man. You talk all this shit. You understand ribbon mics, and then this one may have met your match. I think the mic laughed at me when I said, oh, I'll be done 2 hours tops. The mic was just like in Russian. Fuck you, motherfucker. I got you. I'm gonna jab your fucking eye closed. That's what. In Russian. Fedor was my favorite fighter for a long time. I totally wanted him to fight in the UFC against all the champions. My first MMA fight was seeing Fedor fight. There was a place called Invicta. Was it Invicta? No. I forgot the name of it, but it was Fedor versus Andrei Arlovsky. Oh my God, he knocked out Andrei Arlovsky mid-flight. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I was like, Fedor is the shit. I used to get in fights with my friends about Fedor's not fucking good. He and his brother, oh my God. I mean, I feel bad for his brother. I think his brother went to jail and probably had addiction problems and shit, but his brother and him were just fucking, oh my God. Those guys going into a bar, someone talking shit to them, oh my God. And they weren't big. Fedor was kind of like a barrel. But man, he would break his bones in his fists when he would hit people so fucking hard. And I saw him, you know, he got knocked out a few times. I think Dan Henderson knocked him out really bad. But Fedor was my favorite dude. And you hear me talking about Russians? I got love for Russians. Fedor was a badass. And the people that designed the ribbon mics for Octava, I fucking got nothing but love for those peeps. I mixed a band from Russia called Mimico. They're kind of like the Pearl Jam of Russia. I did a single for them. It was sick. Ilya, the singer, he's a bud of mine. And they toured the United States. I went to one of their shows. It was all Russian peeps. Like, no, I mean, sold out. And no advertisement, but everybody who's Russian knows these guys are playing. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to I'll call again, see if we can get them to stick. Oh, I just dropped all my fucking off. Son of a bitch. We're down to 7 now. 7 peeps. Thank you guys for watching. You could be looking at your text messages and you left this window open. And you're like, oh, that guy. And then I need to go to fucking bed. You know what I'm sure, man? Oh, thanks, Paul. Bitch, I will say. We'll see. I do feel better about this cut than I do on this one. Once again, I'm learning from my mistakes. So instead of me trying another style or technique of getting this ribbon to set in, I'm just gonna go with what it's kind of telling me. Usually you could lock it in with alcohol. This one isn't really gonna be that way. If I took it completely apart, it would probably be easier for me to put the ribbon in. But that's not an option right now. I don't think I have to. It fucking flew in. Jesus. You're so fucking deep. Oh my god, I'm just like, please just stop. Just go in, man. Oh my god, the longer I'm screwing these in, the more chance I have of the screw slipping out and fucking up the ribbon. Holy moly. Holy macaroni. Fucking shit. Oh my god. Holy smoke, that was looking good, man. Oh my god, that ribbon looked good. That ribbon was fucking good, man. Once again, fucking shit. That looked nice too. Oh my god. Well, you want to get some practice in working on this mic. You're getting your practice in on this. Ribbon looks so fucking good too. It's just a fine line, you know? Like when you slip up and it's late, I'm not holding the screwdriver right. The magnet pulls the screwdriver in. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it, man. You know, I have a ribbon mic company, so if you don't like working on ribbons, you have no business telling people you're gonna make a ribbon mic. You know? The ribbon mic I'm working on is super sick. I mean, it's just, fuck, man, I wish I could just show it to you guys right now. But Keith, the guy's fucking stalker, watching me do my shit all the time. Better not show that ribbon mic. And if you're watching me right now, Keith, fuck you. Oh, God. Whew. Okay. Rinse and repeat. It's not a big deal. I gotta use the restroom real quick. Hold on a second. Don't leave me. Hold on. Thank you, guys. Whew. Oh my God. Hold on a second. Thank you, guys. I'm eating a pickle. Those baby deals. Oh my God. So good. Excuse me, I've been on this for almost 3 hours now. Jesus. Alright. Rinse and repeat. Sorry you have to hear me munching away. I know. My next snack is a piece of cheese, so. Alright, come on. Let me have a drink of my Topo Chico. We gotta do the ribbon again. This is my third one, I think. Like I said, I've never worked on this mic. It has its challenges. I can't really install the ribbon the way I'm used to, but because this mic was made a long time ago, I can't really dictate on what I want. I've got to do what the mic wants. And that's what I meant. If I was in a fight with this mic, it would already give me some tie kicks to the fucking thigh, and I'm fucking limping on one leg now, and I'm like, the guy's all, he's chopping him down. And I'm just like, no, I'm not out of it yet, man. I still can fucking knock him out. I'm still going for it. I may have met my fedor of microphones and it's fucking me up. All right, let's get a better attitude. Okay. Let's get a better attitude here. There's a motorcycle going by my studio. Sometimes I can hear them go by and it just rumbles the whole fucking building. I'm not even mention their name. Like I said, if you're still watching this and you're not Paul, you can add me on a subscription, or you can become a member. And I have a new microphone that I'll be sharing with you all. And you can buy me coffee under the description. You'll see a little thank you. You can buy me a cup of coffee, a Topo Chico. Once again, if I was going to try to get rich off doing this, I definitely would not pick ribbon mics. There's plenty of other stuff, you know. I'll probably hire a girl to do this. You'd probably get more likes and people, oh, I'll buy you a coffee. Me? I've got a bunch of dudes watching this shit. Hopefully learning something. I think at the end of the day, I haven't even gotten in my raps about producing. I'm a producer, and I've got a lot of good stuff going on in my life regarding that. A lot of cool bands. You know, this ribbon separated from the paper and then to do a corrugation again. thing my band has done, which is cool. There's a very famous Latina singer named Mazzy Star, but her real name is Hope Sandoval. Just fucking godly singer. She was like 16 when she had her biggest hit. It's called Fade Away. No, wait. Fade Into You. And, she sang on my band's new single. And we got it mastered in Nashville. My friend Pete Lyman. Came out super fucking sick. But I have to get it, you know. We have another single that's going to go on the B-side that I have the drummer from a band called Autolux, Carla. She played drums on it, and that'll be the B-side. And I mean, for me personally, it's super fucking sick. The track is amazing. I can't even believe I got to work with these people and I recorded it. It's my own band, it's my own music. So that's something good that's going to happen in the new year. The microphone, my own microphone that I'm making right now, I can only tell you that when I did my first prototypes, if you go back to my very first video I've ever done on YouTube, that was my prototype, which was symbolically the birth of the microphone I have now. And even that one sounded fucking godly. But I didn't really know about ribbons. I mean, I knocked it out of the ballpark for sure. But what I didn't know is all the nuances of not only building a ribbon mic, but my microphone, because I didn't know it, my first mic I ever built, it would record my own rig, which was a small amp at a low volume. It sounded incredible. But I wanted a mic that would sound good on a Marshall. And that's why I loved 160s. And I made my mic like a 160, but I didn't know enough about, the windscreens, the sounds, how it's really made, sound chambers. And that's why I've spent the last 4 to 5 years working on microphones, not building the mic, because I wanted to make sure that if I'm going to release a mic, it's like I always use that analogy. It's like a guy, he wants to build a race car. Well, you better win some fucking Indianapolis races, or if you're in go-karts, you better win the go-kart championship if you're making a go-kart. And I just wanted to have a really fucking good mic. And so I worked, even this mic, working on this Russian mic is very, amazing to learn about it, to be able to have the skills, to be able to conquer it and put a ribbon in it, measure the ribbon, and then obviously to test it, make sure it sounds good. And that reward and that confidence of doing that is what makes me happy that when I get my own ribbon mic, I'll have that same kind of like, cutthroat, like it better be fucking good. You're going to talk shit and tell people that you're going to do a good mic, So I'm stretching the ribbon. And, if I'm going to talk shit that I'm good at what I do, not only producing, but making ribbon mics or making ribbons. The design of my ribbon, I wish I could tell you about it. It's totally sick, It's nothing like this one. It's nothing like, it's like I said, it's like my own version of the BK5, which I love BK5s. The BK5 is a 1950s and 60s RCA microphone that was made famous, like, if you go to Sunset Sound or any places like that, they have them. Black Hole Sun, Soundgarden record, are all BK5s. The bass guitar is a ribbon mic, a BK5. Michael Beinhorn used those BK5s on everything from Soundgarden and Super Unknown. And that just is, to me, it's the greatest guitar sounds ever. Of course, you talk about Eddie Van Halen, I know. I got 56s too, but in ribbon mics, fucking stand out. So that's been kind of my motivation, would to be, to make something that is brand new. And BK5s, I'll be honest with you, a lot of them sound bad because they don't have good ribbons in them, and they haven't had someone like me or someone retune them. So they're been sitting with their same ribbon for, 100 years or 70 years. And yeah, it needs a new ribbon. It needs to have someone work on them who really knows what they're doing. And you make those mics sound like $1 million. Okay. My first, I'm answering Paul's question. The first mic of my video that I showed there, my first mics were dual ribbon. Here's what's crazy. I can't even say that. I made a ribbon mic that I can. My first microphone was a dual ribbon, and I actually had a switch to turn off each ribbon. It was crazy. And so that first mic that you see there has switches on it that I can cancel the ribbons, either one, the top or the bottom. It was super fucking rad. And I am planning to do something like it because I've spent my life starting ribbons, working exclusively on Buyer 160s. I think it'd be fucking rad if I made a double ribbon the way I wanted to make one, which would not be totally like a 160. The ribbon would be bigger. And I just think it'd be fucking cool. But I have to do that when I have about 6 designs. I have to at least fulfill some of my early designs, which is the one I'm doing right now. And it's pretty spectacular, man. Okay, don't fuck this up again. I'm putting my finger in front of the ribbon, so I've already stabbed the ribbon twice and ruined it today. So it's late. I've been doing this for almost over 3 hours, and I'm feeling it now, like just concentrating to just not get lazy and just follow the way you do it. Always put your finger in front of the spot. Always assume that you could fuck it up, and then you won't fuck it up. You can't just overconfidently just say like, yeah, nope, because the ribbon gods look after it, and when they bless me, they bless me. I get one and done all the time, but this time, this Russian mic has really got me going here. It's like, fuck you, motherfucker. You're gonna go home when I say you're gonna go home. So I have to deal with it. I think I understand your question. No, my new mic is a single ribbon. BK5s are single ribbons. Also, the corrugation in Russian and the corrugation in Bayer 160s is fucking insane. And I think it definitely has to do with the sound and its durability. So I have to figure that out. I used to make my own corrugated ribbons that were like 160s, but not exactly. Really difficult to make. Okay, don't fuck it up. Follow all your protocols. Come on. All right. So there's 2 in there, and I gotta finish the clamps. God. This is the one where I got done with it, and I fucked it up. Holy motherfucking shit. There it is. Holy fucking cows, man. Oh my god. What a son of a bitch. Holy fucking cows. Whew. Alright, well, I'm on to this one for 210 minutes and 24 seconds. Holy cows, man. Whew. I know, oh, Mitch, you're still here. I thought you would have been like, fuck this shit, man. I'm driving to California. I'm going to pick that shit up. Thanks, Mitch. There's your mic. It looks fucking... If you remember what it looked like before, that's pretty stealthy. You know? The ribbon's good. It's good corrugation. It's sweet. And obviously, the main thing is testing it. So I'm going to put this together in the morning, test it, and I'll be sending this out to you, man. Thank you, Mitch, for doing this, man. Yeah, it was. This is not the one I expected. I thought it was. I mean, it looks identical to the one, but the transducer and the one that's a little bit older than this. This is, like I said, maybe 5 years earlier, 10 years earlier. It was a different design, but this is crazy because I've not heard anyone talk about these being, and also in the description on the microphone, it doesn't say anything about a dual motor. That's a dual motor. And this wire that's coming off the top that goes onto these brackets, you know, positive and negative. And that's positive and then negative. So it's almost making this into one ribbon. Because technically you would have oh, Paul, what a sweetheart, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Paul just bought me a cup of coffee. um, thank you, Paul. So like if this was, let's say you didn't have this part of the ribbon, you would have a positive being connected to this one and a negative being, so one would be positive, negative. But this one has it going where this whole bar is probably positive and this whole bar is negative. So it's almost making it into one microphone, which is interesting. Interesting design. Paul, thank you, man. I am going to grab a cup of coffee with that, and I appreciate it. Like I said, anybody that's out there that's seeing this, you watch some of my other videos, and there's a lot of ribbon mics we can upgrade. Contact me, get my information, get my PO box, and you can send me microphones, and I'll re-ribbon them. This one is from my bud Mitch. Mitch, am I correct? Texas? Do we got that right? And he's a wicked producer, and he had these mics and was not sure about them. But yeah, so if you can do me a favor, subscribe to me. And if you can become a member, if you become a member, I'm going to be showing you my own ribbon mic I made. I've been working on it for 4 years. I'm literally finishing it. Like I was doing it all last week, and I have to turn it in because the manufacturer is going to make 100 of them, and I got to make sure my design is legit. So very stressful. Every dime I had is gone to that. So I have something very proudly to share with you guys soon. And yeah, this is a dual motor that is basically utilizing, instead of having a big fat ribbon in there, it's getting two of them. And because one's positive and one's negative, they're almost counting as one ribbon. So if you can imagine, the sound that it's capturing is wide. And it's beautiful. Now that I'm done with it, I'm like, yeah, this is a very attractive mic. When earlier I'm like, fuck you, motherfucking mic, man, son of a bitch. And see, my mic has all these things that you see made here, like the brackets, the clips, all that shit. I had to make it and design it. It was a design that I wanted to do, but my friend Keith was able to really, really knock it out of the ballpark with 3D printing what the mic was going to look like. And then I used some metal parts and made my own prototype, and then I knew it worked and it sounded amazing. So, yeah, and it grows you get the appreciation for this mic. Obviously, the transformers all in here, but just the design. Like this. Where's the cage at? Did I put it up on my foot? Oh, I don't know what I did with the cage. Where'd you put it? Oh, the cage is right here next to me. Like if I had to make this, I made the whole mic in California. If I had to have a company make this, it would be like $30,000 just for this. And these companies that have already had the machine work, and like these are like military fucking spec companies, they can just bang this shit out. And it's cool. That's the top. It's almost like a bird cage, which has the top just like a bird cage is an old RCA. It has a top like this and has a ring. It makes sense, on how this is made. And they got silk on the inside. So there it is. Mitch, thank you, man. I'm gonna test this. And then Paul, thank you, Paul. Paul's got a massive order with me. He's got like 14 mics. I did them all. Oh my god, and they're all fucking badass. Oh my god. Yeah, I had two that I had to redo recently, and Paul's, I just gotta check them, and they gotta go in a Pelican case, and they gotta be shipped to England. So I just can't have anything wrong with any of them. That's been, it's a thorough job. Not only was it one style of mic, it was almost like every style of mic, from vintage to new to really old, like 50s, and just fucking all of them were there. But all right, well, I think that's how I'm gonna call it. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it, man. I've been on this for 217 minutes. One piss, one pickle. Almost a full bottle of Topo Chico. And like I said, man, hit me up, watch my videos, grab an MXL. I'll just write me an email and I'll give you a lowdown of a lot of really cool, affordable ribbon mics you can get. And my thing is, you get these mics for a few $100, and after I re-rivet them, they sound like $1,200 mics. Or even if you went in the used market, like an R84, which would be like, I don't know, 800, $900. The 144s I do sound as good as R84s. All right, everyone, take it easy. Mitch, thank you. Paul, thank you. And we'll talk to you later. I'm going to assemble this in the morning after I've had coffee and breakfast and test it. And then, Paul, I'll be hitting you back on an email, man. I appreciate it. Everyone, take care of yourself.